Sandro Botticelli is one of the most loved artists of the Florentine Renaissance. And he's one who not only mastered his brushes, but he also mastered his patrons. Let's take a brief look at the life and works of Sandro Botticelli. My name is Florence, and this is The Renaissance Rush.
Botticelli is considered a transitional artist, one who worked along the edge of the early and high Renaissance. He was born in Florence in 1445 and lived into his mid-60s, dying in the year 1510. This long career saw the production of the most known and celebrated works of Renaissance painting. He began his art career as an apprentice to Fra Filippo Lippi, a highly desired and respected painter with workshops in both Prato and Florence. Like his master, Botticelli became involved with the powerful Medici family, his keystone early work being a depiction of the Medici as the biblical Magi. Botticelli was a respected master by the time that Pope Sixtus IV called the greatest painters of Italy to Rome to begin painting the famous Sistine Chapel, the first phase decades before Michelangelo would come and paint the ceiling. Still visible today are Botticelli's overlooked contributions: 3 major frescoes depicting scenes from the life of Moses, the punishment of Korah, and the temptation of Christ. Soon after his Roman excursion, Botticelli would return to Florence to enjoy the creative atmosphere of the Medici court under Lorenzo the Magnificent. Inspired by the revival of the Greek scholar Plato and the popularity of the Roman poet Ovid, as well as the court and contemporary poet Poliziano, Botticelli would paint his masterpieces, The Birth of Venus and the Primavera, by the middle of the 1480s. All of these works are exemplary of his style of graceful figures and movement with subtle shadows and very sharp outlines. Here, in Botticelli, we see the first large-scale revival of mythological painting, inspired by the thriving culture of humanist philosophy and the revival of classical antiquity in Florentine culture. Botticelli pioneered full-scale mythological scenes along with Luca Signorelli, whose Education of Pan was of nearly the same style and genre, but was unfortunately destroyed during World War II. In Florence, this artistic freedom was short-lived, as Lorenzo the Magnificent would die, paving the way for the Dominican friar Savonarola to take over the city and critically impose a regime of religious terror from 1494 until his execution in 1498. Botticelli was still an active painter during these years and returned to exclusively painting religious scenes that conformed with Savonarola's vision.
Botticelli was definitely an active painter during the Savonarola years, and he was devoutly religious. And yet, he never married, and even after Savonarola's reign, he was charged with sodomy for keeping a young man in his home. So there is a lot of speculation that Botticelli had homosexual inclinations.
Did he seek religious refuge in Savonarola, or did he simply paint according to the trends of the market, his patrons, and for the sake of his own safety?
Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all future episodes of The Renaissance Rush.